friend. How are you today? Welcome back to my kitchen. I thought today that we could probably be cooking together. I literally just got in from a very wonderful, relaxing vacation with my husband. It was kind of a short anniversary getaway. And I don't know about you, but I get those vacation blahs to get back into the routine. I mean, I've had 5 days where I've not had to cook one single thing, which was marvelous. It would be really easy for us to go out tonight. My husband did have to go into work tonight for a meeting. And I really did think about ordering something or ordering in takeout, but I thought, no, that whole 2 months of the pantry challenge, I really began some new disciplines where I have some things in the house. I can cook what we have and provide a more nutritious meal than ordering out. So what we're going to be doing today is easy, kind of almost halfway made meals is what I kind of call it. We're going to be making some gumbo with a protein here. And I'm also defrosting some peanut butter dough that I made last month, and I've always put the instructions as to the temperature of the oven. That way I'm not having to fumble for the particular recipe here. So I'm going to thaw these out, and that will be a nice little dessert for us to have after our meal. So let's get started and put this meal together and show you how I do it a little bit different than what the box of this mix makes, which has made it more flavorful from our perspective. So let's get started. So I'm starting with a large stock pot here. And usually the second set of instructions tells you to put this mix together, but I put the mix together first. I find that it really helps saturate the mix with the water. So I'm gonna put in 6 cups of water. And then I'm going to put in, I use the Zatarain's is my favorite brand of the gumbo mix. And this is really a one-pot meal, really easy to put together. So we're going to add this and mix it really well before we add our next set of ingredients. We really had some great food while we were gone. We had this Parmesan crusted flounder that was impeccable. So delicious. They served it over some mashed potatoes that were so velvety smooth. It was wonderful. That particular restaurant, you could tell, made their own croutons. The salad was super fresh. They even made their homemade dressings. It was wonderful. Also enjoyed some grouper, which here in Florida is a fish that is quite common. And then of course, you know, shrimp. I had to get some shrimp. So I think I had grouper twice, flounder. And then we went out for our anniversary actual night, and kind of a tradition that we do is we always get steak and shrimp. That's kind of what we started that first night of our honeymoon. We went out for steak, and so every year for our anniversary, we've continued that tradition. Let's add our protein. So normally I would take apart a rotisserie chicken, but I really didn't want to go out and purchase one of those. I do have a full whole chicken in my freezer, but I would have to defrost it and then cook it, and it wouldn't be ready for tonight. But what I did have in the freezer was some of the sausage. I like the all beef kind. It doesn't matter what brand. We like it all, but usually I put 2 proteins in it. This has also been really good with shrimp, but the shrimp I don't add until the very end because, as you know, that doesn't take a long time to really cook. And I like to simmer this for several hours. My best time is 6. You can do it a lot faster than that, but we have found that it really tastes better when you can let it simmer for quite some time. So I'm going to cut this sausage up. In fact, you can use any protein that you want, and it makes it really good. So let's cut this up together. Now you true Cajuns, you might have some other kinds of gumbo things you might add, crawfish or what have you. My husband loves crawfish. I have never acquired the taste for it. He lived in Louisiana for quite some time. And so he really loves that Cajun food and really began eating crawfish while he was there. Now I would add that, again, I would normally add the rotisserie chicken in there and let it culminate in it. But we're gonna go put this on the stove. So this is boiling very nicely. Now, technically, you could eat this right now, but what we like to do is we really like, though, to infuse that seasoning mix from that box with the water and the meat, the protein that we put in it. So I've turned it down to low, and every 45 minutes, I will come back in here and stir it. We like for it to simmer between 4 to 6 hours. Doing that stir every 45 minutes, and we found that it really has a more, it's a deeper flavor, a depth of flavor than just doing it really quickly. Again, if you would add that rotisserie chicken in it, that would add another layer, especially if it's seasoned with some things. If you added shrimp, you could add another little texture in it. So really any protein will work well. Now I haven't tried ground beef, and I haven't tried other types of fish in here. I've just chosen the beef sausage for tonight, but typically the beef sausage and the rotisserie chicken. So we'll keep stirring this, and this will be a great warm meal. Pretty easy to make in less than 10 minutes to put together and then enjoy later when my husband comes home from his work meeting. So let's see if those peanut butter balls are ready to go into the oven and get those ready for our little sweet treat for tonight. The house is beginning to smell wonderful of baked goods, and that aroma coming from the gumbo is really, really good. That is the timer for the cookies, so let's get those out and start letting those cool. Oh yes. That is really, really hot. Woo, I think I'm gonna have to get a new pot holder. That went directly through. Sorry for that loud noise. Through that pot holder. Wow, that was hot. Turn off that oven. But these cookies turned out nice. So we're gonna put them over here and let them cool. Hopefully this pot holder won't be too hot on my fingers. So I have my wire rack out, and I'm gonna let them cool a little bit on the baking sheet, and then in a couple of minutes, I'm gonna take them off the baking sheet and put them on that wire rack to do the complete cool. But I think I'm going to go ahead and put some cold water on my fingers just to make sure they don't blister, because that was really hot. All right, it's been a couple minutes for me to get these out, and did get cold water on that. I think we're good. What I figured out is that other pot holder had gotten wet from the gumbo steam, and that's probably what made my hands burn a little bit. So we're gonna take this and just put this on the wire rack. But I'm very pleased with this. Has a good brown back to it. I'm not sure if you can see that. So again, that was the first time that I've ever frozen the dough. Typically, I have always baked the cookies and then frozen them and then just allowed them to come to room temperature. So right now, these look like these will do well. We'll do a taste test once they completely cool and see what the true verdict of this is. Wonderful, very pleased with that. This is a picture of the final bowl of gumbo. My husband was thoroughly thrilled when he came home and could smell it and
Also, he was very excited about those delicious homemade peanut butter cookies to come home and enjoy after his long meeting. You can add a extra layer of rice by doing that separately and then just pouring this gumbo mix over it. But I chose not to do that. It was just I was too tired from the vacation, and so I just wanted to make it quick and easy and something to enjoy. We were able to enjoy this for a couple of nights of meals, and it was great for a cold night here in North Florida to have something warm and delicious and homemade after we came home from our vacation.